Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there, you gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, if that people knew that glorious path, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage, we are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Yeah, we rocking it. What's going on, fellas? What's cracking?
What's good?
Getting its own.
Yeah. Manifestations 2020 in your building. This is Major Gage. I am here with my mans and them, Anthony Malcolm and Bobby Drake, and we are Manifestations 2020. What's going on, fellas? What's cracking?
What's good? What's good? Everything is
beautiful day in the Manversations hood. What's happening?
Facts. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Talk to me, man, before we get into the show. Just talk to me about the basics, man. How's your weekend flowing? How was your week? You got any shout outs you want to give it to us real quick, and then we'll get into it.
The week was good. Shout out to everybody out there doing their thing, hanging in there. I think this going into the final quarter, the fourth quarter. So, shout out to the black businesses out there, the low, not low business, but the minority business. I mean, as far as when I say minority, meaning small businesses. So all the small business owners out there, man, shout out to y'all. This is your money season right now. So, this is a time where you just go heavy on the gas and finish the year strong. So, wish you guys the best of luck on that and continue your success. 2026 is not going to get any easier, but I wish you the best in trying to get as much and maximize as much financial money as possible. I did want to say I watched a show on Netflix. I'm not sure if you guys saw it. It's called The Perfect Neighbor. It was a case that happened in Florida where a racist white lady had ended up shooting a black woman, the mother of four, through the door, end up killing her. So it's on Netflix now, and it rehashed a lot of emotions with a lot of people. And I was on a thread earlier this week, and I was looking at the comments. The comments was pretty good. It was a lot of people in there saying how this white woman was terrorizing this black woman and the kids in the community, and it wasn't right what she did. But somebody, just one Negro, and it was a black woman, and I was so disheartened by it. But she said that in the show, in the documentary, she said that all the officers inside that documentary did a good job. And I had to push back on it. She had got 435 likes, and I pushed back on it. And I think mine's gonna reached up to 100. And I just posted this not too long ago. And I said to her, that's a BS lie, because the way those racial cops, and I heard this up here in Ocala too, but the way those racial cops treated that white woman and let her utilize her white privilege, because even though she shot a black mother, she still had grace from those white race soldiers that gave it to her. And I pointed out, because I said, even when they found out that she did it and they end up charging her, they finally charged her. She was in the interrogation room and she says, no, I can't do that, because they were telling her, like, get up so we can arrest you and transport you over to the jail. And she was like, nah, I can't do that. I can't do that. They sat there for a good 20 minutes before she gave in and gave her hands up to be transported over to the jail. And I'm like, it's so sad, because if a black woman went into a white neighborhood and did even one or two things about that, she would be up out of there, or the officers would definitely be very hostile to her from start to finish. The way these officers for 2 years came over here and catered to this lady's interrogations and false accusations, taking pictures of children. And then on top of that, had a nerve and I'm glad this lady, she looked like she's a mixed breed lady. Or she might just be a white lady that, culturally act black. But she had 4 children out there, and she was like, the officer came up and was like, I'm just trying to make my life easier. And she was like, make your life easier? Nigga, the nerve of you. We live over here with this terrorizing, talking about make it easier because you trying to come at us and tell us, like, can we bring the peace? When this lady been over here terrorizing the whole community and the kids. So I thought that was very interesting, how the dynamics of the police department, even to this day, because that happened, I think that happened in 2017. And even though to this day, you still have race soldiers that give those type of privileges because they stay on code. And I just want to lay my plane on that. But I just definitely had to get that off my chest because I feel like there's too many Black folks out there that's off code and is carrying. When you're off code, you continue the racial prejudice and terrorizing amongst us because you have to be unapologetic and push back on the bullshit. That's how you get rid of the system of racial supremacy.
Mm-hmm. Facts. All right. Well said, Bobby Drake. Real quick, talk to me.
Oh man, it's been an interesting week, ups and downs. We had some low points this week, unfortunately. We also had some high ones. I imagine a couple of low ones we'll probably get into during the course of the show, but I just want to tip my hat to my best friend and her hubby. They are officially first-time parents, pushed out a beautiful, healthy, bouncing baby boy. Proud to the moon, happy didn't get to see them today. Things got a little hectic, but definitely gonna make time to pop in and celebrate with them and share the love and just commingle amongst all that good energy, all that the good vibes and the health and the longevity that's going to be cultivated in that family. So huge cheers to them, celebration, and that's the nature of life. And I just want to say to people, always be mindful, of the same time when a baby is being born, someone is just taking their last breath and vice versa. So the wonderful thing about time is that it keeps on going on, but the cruel and ruthless thing about time is that it keeps going on. You don't necessarily get a time to just sit back and mourn and nothing else is happening around you. Life is always happening, and you don't get a chance to always celebrate, and there's just like a moratorium on death and hardship. Life is constant, but that's the beauty of it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get those wins, man, celebrate them, be grateful for them, give thanks for them. And when you down, just, be in the moment, but stay mindful, something new is coming around the corner. So just make sure you're in that middle space where you're not shaken or shifted by any means. But right now, high times, we're embracing them, we're enjoying them, and we're savoring them with everything we got right now.
Yeah. Facts from Bobby Drake. Interesting you made those points there, just talking about life and appreciating life. I think that a very, very important part of appreciating life just kind of ties into the first topic I want to discuss today. A very, very important part of appreciating life and living life to the fullest and, just living out loud is ensuring that your legacy is kept intact. And lately, I've just been seeing a plethora of individuals, namely in the hip-hop industry, that are just utterly destroying their legacy. And I have to say, this guy right here is at the very top of that list.
My grandson to see Buzz like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Oh, these are kids that we have to show that at this age, like, they're going to ask questions. I didn't come in for this. They putting it everywhere.
And so, Snoop spoke out because he went to go see a movie with his grandkid. And, they got this couple that's a same-sex couple in the movie with kids. And, same-sex couples don't make kids. And kids are curious. They're going to ask questions. And then that it just goes somewhere else. You understand? And I get exactly where Snoop was coming from. But, people in the alphabet community just they love to act fake offended when somebody comes out and says something that's blatantly true and very obvious, about the agenda that they try to push on people, the agenda they try to force on people, this same-sex marriage and same-sex couples agenda that they so adamantly try to force on everybody. He was calling that out. And when he called that out, he said it with his chest, he meant it, and he speaks to a very real issue because a lot of parents have that issue. And it's like, bruh, these are children. And it feels like they're trying to teach the children to be gay or to be in a same-sex relationship or whatever the case may be. And it's uncomfortable. Then they start asking all these questions that are uncomfortable. And it's like he said, I didn't come here for all that. I just came here to see a children's movie. And it's a shame you can't even see a goddamn children's movie no more without them trying to ram this propaganda down your throat. Pause. You understand? So, like, Snoop said that with his whole chest, right? Like Snoop said other things with his whole chest. And then a week, 2 weeks later, he caved like a bitch. I don't even think it was a whole week. You understand what I'm saying? So how you go from that? Because he's speaking to his core convictions and beliefs. I know because I was raised in the black community. And let's stop this lie about black people being homophobic. There's no lie about black people being homophobic. It's been homosexuals all over the black community since time immemorial. It's whatever. You understand? But the point of the matter is, you're trying to force this agenda onto children. You're trying to teach them about these different types of sexuality. And by definition, that is sexualizing them. And they're children. They're innocent. They don't need to be sexualized. Is what he was saying. So how you go from that to this? Snoop Dogg features same-sex couples in children's series Doggyland. You understand? So he has a children's series called Doggyland. He just finished talking about how he don't want to see same-sex couples in children's programming. And now he has, in his own very children's program, he's featuring same-sex couples overnight. This wasn't even a month ago. And will make that even more fucked up, to quote Snoop Dogg. He has a controversy now also where he teamed up with a glad and queer artist for a song that's the soundtrack to that very same show, from what I understand. The song is called Love is Love. And I thought that was just very hypocritical and very bitch made of Snoop. And Snoop is always selling out. He came out and talked about how Negroes were Sambos and coons and whatever the case may be, if they go down and perform for Trump. And a couple years later, he had his coon, buffoon, Sambo ass down there tap dancing for Trump. Right? Did y'all miss that? I mean, that happened. Then he came out banging on Gayle King when she said some slick shit about Kobe. He banged on her ass, and he should have, because she's an industry plant. She's a bitch, and she really, really disrespected the legacy of our brother Kobe Bryant. And he checked her, as he should. And he came out apologizing a couple weeks later, talking about some bullshit that his mama told him. This nigga don't stand for nothing. You know what I'm saying? If the price is right, Snoop is willing, from what it looks like, to bend over and spread them ass cheeks. That's what it looked like to me. You know, despicable. This guy, I mean, I don't want to hear nothing that Snoop does. I'm not supporting anything he's in going forward. Just based on this. This man has no conviction. He is the textbook definition of a puppet. My God, what y'all say? Talk to me, man.
I've always told you guys about Snoop. I've been off the Snoop train for a very long time. It's been over a decade. I've been off the Snoop train because I know that Snoop is a plant. And I've told you guys, you got to watch people who've been, quote unquote, some illegal shit, and all of a sudden now they have the power and the stardom out of nowhere and garnish all this power and money. I can name Jay Prince. I can name Snoop Dogg. I can name Jay-Z. These are people that have their hands doing some real dirty work, yet they never got caught for any of their stuff. And then they were able to grow this superstardom and become the voice of the Negroes.
Right.
So you got to understand how COINTELPRO has, we thinking of it back in the Dr. King days, and we're thinking that they're going out here assassinating black voices. That's why we're scared to talk up. But they don't need to do that anymore. You guys realize that a lot of black folks are idol worshipers of celebrities.
Yes, they are.
So all they have to do is just promote the right individual get them to do some things that the community thinks is helping out, to now put a ring of protection around them, so now you can't go after them. You know what I'm saying? And these people will turn around and do some shit for the dominant society and then do some shit for you. You know who also does that? George Soros. And George Soros funds both sides of the war.
Yeah.
He funds the Black Lives Matter and he funds the police department. And I can go real deep down that rabbit hole, and I can show you that every time that man picks up a phone and makes a phone call, somebody gets killed, overkill 20-something times, a person gets shot. Every now and then, I've actually clocked it and figured out it's a couple years before they make that call, and then you get the whole society up in an uproar again. It's a playbook that if you don't understand how racial supremacy works, you'll never figure out the players and the playbook that they run. And it's not hard. It's just that you mentally wise are too locked in and too programmed to understand and see what's really going on, and you're being played on the back end of it. So when I see Snoop Dogg 1 minute, and this the playbook, 1 minute he's doing something and acting like he's riding for black people, like David said, he's over there calling out Gayle King, which he rightfully should have. He's also out here calling out the LGBT agenda, like he rightfully should. But then he goes back and plays on the other side that sponsors and financially promotes him.
Yeah.
So that way you guys get confused, like, oh shit, Snoop is a rider. Oh, all right, we'll give him a pass because he did say something. No, you never know how this guy is being played to where now he is being used. He might have been used to actually say something to now Trojan horse in the right way, because he's so powerful voice-wise and image-wise. Everybody knows Snoop and know how powerful he is. So what he says to some people is gold. So you got to watch that type of scenario that goes on with that. And I'm gonna land my plane with this. When it comes down to these celebrities, you have to make sure that you are seeing exactly what they're doing in order to know exactly who they are. And that's why grassroots will always be your best option, not the people that's on the screen. And I'll land my plane on that.
Yes, sir. Bobby Drake, what you got on this, man? Talk to me. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Man. And Pac warned us about this. Pac tried to tell us.
This is news that should have surprised absolutely no one. And I mean no one. And if it did surprise you, all that means that you simply have not been paying attention. That's exactly what that means. Snoop has, I don't know if he ever, actually, no, Snoop has never, ever, not one time ever been known or characterized as having a backbone or a spinal column. He never has.
Hey, yeah.
For as long as I can remember, he's even made it clear that he's sold his soul out a long time ago. He's been bent over the barrel, spread his bussy cheeks open. He let everyone know, hey, I'm open and ready and willing for business.
Basically.
And you can definitely see that in the way he's risen to prominence over the decades. This man is now at a point where he's actually more famous and more well-known for his other celebrity endeavors than his actual music.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking away anything for what he's contributed to the rap game over the years, but let's be honest. Snoop's biggest contribution to music was Doggy Style.
Yeah.
That really was it. It was that album. It was a pioneering force in the world of gangster rap. Really helped usher in the whole G-Funk era with Warren G and Nate Dogg.
Yeah.
But really, that's it. He's had some albums that were sold, don't get it wrong. But what major album has he really had since then? You could say, oh, yeah, that was great. It's really been that.
It's been that, yeah. Facts.
He's been riding off that and his association with Dre and Cube and the West Coast cats. That's really what's been carrying him.
Features,
but everything he's done afterwards has been business related, specifically endorsements. So pretty much from jump, he is owed all of his prominence, all his rise to acclaim and fame, to his ability to pretty much be a vessel for others.
Yeah.
And so when that's the case, you're basically putting yourself in a position where you really can't have a say-so. You really can't have a voice. And it's sad because this incident and others like it are pretty much almost like looking at that Jordan Peele joint, basically where he's in the second place. You see times where he wants to speak out and say, hey, I'm a person. Then all of a sudden the light shines and it's like, oh no, we're having no. It's tragic. Old ass man made all these paper moves. His paper's on point. Was able to reclaim Death Row Records and everything, and he's still getting bent over the barrel. He still does not have the ability to speak for himself or say what he really thinks or have his own mind or perspective.
It's crazy.
It's sad. It's really, really sad. But
this is where we are, though.
But this is where you have to really go ahead and you need to make a choice. Am I going to be someone who's going to stand for character and principles? Might not get paid as much, might not have as many opportunities, but I can always go to sleep at night feeling good about myself. My children could look at me with respect. My wife or my husband can always have, respect and admiration for me. My name is always going to be solid and platinum played in these streets.
Yeah.
Or are you going to always perpetually be the bust down? Anytime somebody walks by and snaps their fingers, to drop your pants and bend over the curve of the bushes or wherever and let them have the way with you.
Yeah, that's kind of what I say, man. It's like, God damn, at this point, you still doing this, bro? Because, we make the assumption that it's paper straight. But, like, when I look at shit like this, is your paper straight? Because why are you still doing this? Like, dude, you've been a star since time immemorial. Don't you save no money, nigga? Like, you still got to get out here and coon.
Well, see,
y'all got it.
I think you was trying to go where I was about to go just now, and I was going to say, you know what, it could be paper related, but also let's not forget the day and time in which we're in. And we know Snoop been around for a long time. Snoop has always been in those circles and those people. How much dirt about Snoop is actually out there?
Oh, he got some dirt on it. It's gotta be bad.
We point fingers at dudes like Diddy that forgot themselves and got out of line and went too far, and they had to go ahead and toss all the demons out the closet. I don't know, but Snoop, I know you was cool with Diddy for a while.
Yeah, he was.
I know you was cool with a lot of these other figures, not just black figures, but also the non-black figures in Hollywood as well that have been out there. And remember, again, I don't want to understate this. I don't think it's possible to. Snoop, when I say Snoop is known for everything but music, I mean Snoop is known for everything but music. Snoop probably has had his fingers and his toes in just about every single piece of media and culture pie there is. He's made music videos. He's in the world of sports. For those who are a little younger and might not know, back in the 90s, Snoop was also in the skin flick business too for a little bit. He had skin flicks. He was clicked up with Hugh Hefner and all them and everything. And he has been everywhere. If you think about it, Snoop was probably there for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So that means there's a lot of opportunities to rack up some fingerprints, some evidence, some whatever. And they got long memories nowadays. Snoop might literally be in a place where he literally can't say no to anything now, not because of money, but because if they start pouring out the closet, they're never going to be able to shut the damn thing up. So, hey.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you got to remember Snoop, when Snoop got in the game, he was facing a murder charge. That murder charge got erased.
Murder was the
Remember, whenever you get something erased like that, you're facing life.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he got off. His handlers used that. Once that was his dirty hands right there. So now he's like, yo, I get you out for life, but you got to be our tool. He gonna sit back and agree with that because it comes with money too. So now you can live your lifestyle. You live free. remember, these celebrities that have all this money, it's not their money. I think the public thinks that this money is their money. They're getting money to promote the propaganda from the people running the world. But at the end of the day, if you don't believe me, look at all these celebrities. When they say that they died, look at their wills, because their wills are public records. They always come out and tell you where their money going. Why is your money, Oprah, going to your dogs? You're a billionaire. Why is your money going to your dogs? All of these celebrities that you see, even white actors that they use, all of their money goes to the dogs and foundation when they die, because that money is being recycled to get new puppets and new people. This is all a repetitive process with just new faces. So that is part of it. You know what I'm saying? Look at Jay Prince. Jay Prince, remember, he was a big time quote unquote dope boy allegedly back in the day. He got caught with some heavy dope back in the day from what I've researched. Maxine Waters is his handler, because she found out about that and she cleared all his stuff. Notice that Jay Prince goes around and now he's the leader and the spokesperson for black people in the rap game, but yet these same people, remember, his son got caught up with the Migos dude who got killed. Remember, he was supposed to be under their guideline. Tell me, ask me, any type of person that get affiliated with a murder like that, tell me why that you haven't heard anything like that. Because if it was a normal person, they would still be on it, because he was a high profile case. Now all of a sudden it's Jay Prince's son. Now that case, have you ever heard of anything about Takeoff? You ain't never heard nothing about Takeoff shit no more, right? Even the same money that gets affiliated with the dirty dude, I forgot, the dusty dude who killed Nipsey. You ever heard anything about them talking about anything about that dude?
No.
Matter of fact, I don't even think that dude is in a prison. I think that dude's identity is changing. This nigga's living his life and got paid for that shit. So you gotta watch. You gotta understand. This is why I love this black woman who made the movie The Matrix, because all it does is she's basically telling you how the world is running. Everybody that gets control turns into an agent. Everywhere you look, it's a regular person, then all of a sudden, agent.
Facts.
And I land my plane on that.
Yeah, she did that shit. Okay, well, there it is. We lost Snoop for good, though. Anybody who still had doubts, it's a wrap. He's 100% compromised. Straight up Sambo. All right. So we got a couple other things we got to talk about. I want to talk about this because I really, really think this is important. I've been seeing this weird trend where, these older post-wall women, these women that then hit the wall that nobody is checking for, are coming out and resurfacing, and they're complaining about why they're single. And I want y'all to tell me if y'all notice any common threads in some of these arguments. This shit is outrageous to me. But yeah, this is what we're seeing. Check this out.
Because I'm tired of raising boys. I'm tired. Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't understand truly. And I'm saying this with all my heart. Y'all think that we want you to get your blank together for us. We want you to get it together for you.
Us.
For you. Only for you, because for real, you want us to have kids with you. You want us to have futures with you, and you won't grow up. And some of y'all 39, 40, y'all about to die. You better grow up. It's so annoying. It's so annoying that you don't understand that you're not taking responsibility for your mental and your actual physical health. We are not your mama. I ain't your mama. I'm sorry. I'm not your mother. Grow up. Grow up.
I ain't your mama. She ain't your mama, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and I just want to add this. I want to chase that clip with this, because I've been watching these people. Like Anthony said, you got to pay attention. What that say? Leslie Jones says she's single because she has terrible luck with men. They do not like me. Now, she just told us that she's single because she's tired of raising boys. But I remember when she interviewed and she said out of her own mouth, men don't like me. They think I'm ugly. They ain't feeling me. They ain't rocking with me. They ain't checking for me. My DMs be bare. You understand what I'm saying? And now, all of a sudden, you got some feminist bona fides. You know, she's come out saying other shit about men. Oh, y'all gotta stop raising fuck boys and all this and all. She is just hardcore with it. And she goes on these white platforms like the Drew Barrymore show that she was on. And then there's another white talk show that she was on that she was spewing that same nonsense. And so what they're doing is, you know, they take their useful dummy and they have her go out and attack black men. You know what I'm saying? And just attack men in general. But the focus is on the black men because she makes it very clear that she's into black men. You understand? So this is where we are. I got a couple more things to show you, and then I want y'all to cook on it because these are all related.
You've truly been loved. No. And you think you really have experienced loving someone?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
And when you can't get that love back?
What I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable. It's that they're not capable.
They can't love.
They don't have it in them. They need to appreciate the little person inside of them.
They have little
need to
to
love
give.
them. Yeah.
You've been in a relationship with
And
people.
they gave me what they had.
Right, but
they
it's not
gave me
enough.
all of it. Every time.
But it's this much. It's
All
a
the
little bit.
rings, all the things I could ever want.
Right.
They tried to give me the houses, the rings, the marriage, all of it. But
They didn't love you.
they didn't.
And didn't know you.
And I didn't love myself.
So there's J-Lo with some bullshit. It's not that, this is the line that killed me. This was the kicker. It's not that I'm not lovable. It's that they weren't capable. Whoa. Okay. That's what we going with it.
Moment of silence. I felt that. That was powerful.
But see, this is the thing. When they have these shows, they become these little feminist hate hubs. You know what I'm saying? And they just go on there and say the most goofy ass shit imaginable, and no one challenges them on it because they have the housewives that are home. You know what I'm saying? And they're watching this daytime TV, so there's no accountability, and so it just festers over time. I got one more, and then y'all can cook. This one took me out. Is
it true that you're like off dating?
I'm done dating. I've had it with dating.
Why? I'm so curious because I feel the same way. I'm just curious. I mean, why you?
Because I just find people to be insincere and not worth my time. And I enjoy my alone time and my time with my kids and my friends more.
I feel like this is a phenomenon that keeps happening with women. What is happening with this phenomenon?
I just feel like I don't need another kid. And I don't want any insincerity and baloney and game playing. And I don't know how to say this in a way that's politically correct.
Yeah, go for it.
But I don't feel like men are at the same place that women are right now. I just feel that the men that I'm meeting, I have really good men friends, but I just feel when it comes to emotional maturity in relationship, that men and women are seemingly in different spots.
Do you apply that like as a parent, as a woman to your son? Are you like,
Yes.
I want to raise you in a way where you're going to be IQ, EQ, like an equal to your woman, if not raising the stakes?
Yes, and they'll come into my room, the three of them together, and they'll start up some kind of guy conversation. And I'll be standing there and they'll go, we shouldn't be doing this in front of mom. And I say, you shouldn't be doing this in front of each other.
Wow. I had to play that to the end. Dude, you got Sharon Stone.
That's what I thought it was.
Sharon Stone crawling up out the grave to come and tell us how men are on her level. Get the entire fuck out of here. This lady is old as water, dude. And she's sitting up here. Who the fuck is checking for Sharon Stone? I mean, really? This is what we're doing? And I mean, Drew is sitting there like, yeah, why aren't you dating? Like, you know, because nobody's looking at her ass. What the fuck you talking about? Really? She's not dating because she's too busy rubbing aspirin cream on them knees. Bruh, what are we talking about? And she's up here talking about the same way Leslie Jones, of all people, is talking about, oh, the men are just not, they're not worthy. All of those three women, the common theme that I got was the men are just unworthy. J-Lo and Sharon Stone, who were industry pass-around, they made a career of it for 20 plus years. But the men aren't worthy. Leslie Jones, who no one's ever really found attractive. That's the nicest way I can put it. You understand what I'm saying? Who the fuck was checking for Leslie Jones? But the men are not worthy. It couldn't be you. It's not even an idea. Really? When people ask me why I was single when I was single, I would say I haven't found the right type of woman. And, you know, I might go into the conversation, you know, okay, I haven't found this, but it was never just a knee-jerk reaction to attack the women. I haven't found the right type of woman, because if I did find the right type of woman, I would make a move, right? No, with them is all the men. Basically they're saying I can't find the right type of man because the right type of man doesn't exist because something is wrong with men. These three women that nobody wants. Really? What y'all saying, man? That last one made my head explode.
When you look at all of them in common, what's the one thing all of them in common? I think you just said it, Major. They were all hoes. Let's just be real.
Well, except for Leslie Jones. I think Leslie Jones just never had no opportunity because nobody.
Oh no! I was about to say
who gave a shit? You know,
spiritually she might be, but in terms of
actual the other two, yes.
You don't look at it like that because you don't really know the interactions that she had. This lady is a pass around too. But the thing about it is, brothers ain't hitting her. She's letting these white dudes hit her. She's she's been called, caught with Seth Meyers, Colin Jost, her co-workers, and they tell you all the time, don't eat where you shit at. You know what I'm saying? And she's been running around here with these white guys. She's said it several times on public platforms, admiring them, flirting with them. But you got to understand, when it comes to white guys, it's not like they don't like promiscuous women. They do. The fact is they don't like manly women, and they don't like black women like that. I think I've told people all the time, one of the most powerful movies that I think that Tyler Perry has done is called The Family That Prays. Once you see that movie, you'll start to understand the dynamics of white men with black women. It's a fetish. It's always going to be a fetish, because at the end of the day, once they get rid of you, like all these black women, and nobody talks about it, when you go out here and you interact and you intermingle and do all this race play, when they are fed up with you and they kill you, guess what? The police department don't look at them as a suspect. They write you off as a suicide or you were a runaway. And that's factual shit. I can give you several cases where I did the research and I seen that they made it a dead end, even though all the evidence points at the white boyfriend.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, and we're not sitting here hating on y'all for saying that, but the problem that I have with a lot of black women is that when you play outside and you play with on the other side of the fence, when shit go wrong, you come back and say, well, black men ain't protect me. But when you was on the other side of the fence, you was talking mad greasy about black men. So you can't have it your way. But I noticed in life that a lot of women, not just black women, but women in general, they have that gray area where they land in the victim and the villain side. Yeah. And you can't play both sides. You can't. If you want to bask in your femininity, you have to play on the side of innocence. Yeah. Don't sit here and be a villain, and then when shit get punched, shit don't go right, then all of a sudden you want to play the victim. It don't work like that. It would never work like that. And the only thing that happens when you do that is you go into that whole story with the boy who cries wolf, and nobody pays attention to you because they like, why should we? You play so many games, we don't know what side to believe you. So when you look at all of these women, they talk so much shit about men because they've been passed around by men. They never vetted properly, and they thought their vagina was more golden than a relationship and their morals. And you throwing your vagina out there, a nigga used your vagina and throw the shit right back at you. And when he throws it right back at you, the other men already know because they've been watching you and they see their vagina throwing back at you. And yeah, they'll go back and they'll try to sip their way into your life, but they only want your vagina so they can throw it back at you. You notice how you women that go around are so promiscuous, when you let another man hit and you let one guy hit and then another guy knows that he hit, what's the energy that comes along when that guy wants to hit and you don't let him hit? Yeah. Is it a friendly reaction or is it an envious reaction? Like, I deserve to hit too and let you and not be around you. You let that nigga do it while you don't
everybody else. Shit, yeah, that's what guys think. Yeah.
So you got to understand, when we out here, man, this is one of the reasons why we tell people to watch Manversations and listen to what we say, because we're out here for the embetterment of Black men and Black women. We don't sugarcoat shit and tell you bullshit. We don't want you to be like the Sharon Stone and the Leslie Jones and the J-Lo. You know what I'm saying? And the J-Lo, a lot of women are like J-Lo too. Y'all like to play in the mud with these little roughneck niggas and then go on the other side and try to be on this pressy shit. But the problem is you're having a power struggle within your identity, because you want the life of a nice guy, but your whole aura, your heart is really with the bad boy. So it's hard for you to live a good life because your inner hole is more connected in that direction. That's why I don't know if you ever showed that, if you had that clip, but there was a clip going around saying that J-Lo cheated on her ex-dude. Her ex-dude came out and said that J-Lo cheated on her. This is the nice guy. She couldn't cheat on the puppies and all these other niggas that was running through them because they knew who she was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you wasn't going to get by with that. So those type of women like J-Lo want the nice guy, but they want him in the bad boy image and bad boy mentality and low energy mentality. But the problem is it's oil and water. Those two don't mix. It's either you're going to be on that side or that side, but you can't have this and this. That shit don't mix. It would never be that chemical reaction or that equation that you want. And I'll land my plane on that.
Facts, Bobby Drake. What you got to say about these crazy ass females, bro?
I just want to say real quick. Sharon Stone had 31 fucking dudes that she slept with from 1992 all the way up to now.
That we know of.
There you go.
Yeah. She's 67, by the way. Go ahead, Bobby.
So I think they say take the number and multiply it by 2 and then add like 10 or something like yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. You know, God bless their hearts. Those women, they keep leaving accountability behind at the checkout line, and bless their hearts, the bag boys, they keep chasing after them saying, Miss, you forgot your accountability. But then women are all riding supercars and they can never possibly hope to catch up. It's crazy. But again, this lack of introspection, and again, these are women, if you notice, they have never once been guilty of anyone coming out and giving them their acclaim and giving them flowers for being good people. Not even good women, just good people.
Just good people. Facts.
I've heard people tip their hats to Sharon Stone as an actress. I've heard maybe 1 or 2 people, even that, give Leslie Jones her flowers for being funny or being cool with movies or whatever. Heard people give Jennifer Lopez her props for really helping Latinas find a way into the pop music genre and really kind of get that presence and kind of be an inspiration as far as the video vids and everything. But you've never heard anyone, at least that I'm aware of, come out and say that these women are amazing people, they're kind, they're loving. You know, anytime you go around and you get good vibes, you've never heard that.
Yeah.
These are not good people.
No
It's
one said-
impossible to be narcissistic and be a good person because by default, everything is about you.
Mhm.
And your bitterness, because things haven't gone the way you think that they should go, it bleeds up out of you.
Mhm.
It's a shame because I actually want to give Leslie her flowers for all the flack that she gets for not being typically attractive by any beauty standard metric, not by Black beauty standards or white beauty standards. I have to say in that interview, that's the best that I've seen her look. She actually, I didn't say she looked great, but she looked nice. I'm like, you know, that's good. I like the look on her. That's good for her.
I don't know about nice, but
But
okay.
here she is in here by her standards.
Bobby, you're
But
very,
even-
you're
but
very
even-
kind fellow. Go ahead, Bobby.
Look, I try to be. I really try to be. But even then, I gotta pump the brakes with it because she's in here shit talking man. It's like I'm trying to give you flowers and you just won't let me hand them to you.
Using flowers to cover her face. Bruh, it's just,
That's what we would do at this point. Like you just can't get out of your own way.
it's just no help in
Not
that shit.
not for 3 finger licking seconds. But it's always pointing outside. I remember coming up. I don't know if they stopped giving out this this analogy, but they used to always say, whenever you point a finger at somebody, you got 3 fingers pointing back at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I want to know when to stop being true because these people keep on sticking their fingers out, and they got 3 gigantic, big old fingers just with neon lights flaring right in their direction. Like you don't understand that it's really you. And I actually want to give big kudos to Jennifer Lopez's ex-husband. What's the man's name? Let's see if I can pull it up here.
Mark
His
Anthony?
name is not him.
Alex Rodriguez?
This was before she started blowing up on the scene like that. His name is Ohani Nea, is it? Ohani.
That's the one that called her out for witchcraft, right?
Yeah, that was her. I don't know if it was for that, but this
Shout
was her
out to him
first
for that.
husband. So this was her very first husband before the celebrities came in.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember right, he was a waiter at a restaurant, and they met just after Selena. So this was before her career even really took off like that. So she just popped up in the that world, but she wasn't really known like that. So she was still kind of low key.
Yeah.
Noah, Ohani Noah.
Mm-hmm.
And so she, of course, like you mentioned, started shit talking him and all the other husbands. And Ohani said, look, I might not, maybe it's because I'm not rich, maybe it's because I don't have celebrity bread like that. But what I do have as a man is my pride and self-respect. I'm not about to let you just talk about me like that. So he said, I'm going to get my 5 cents up in this mix. And this is what he said to her, or in response to her interview on Howard Stern.
Yeah.
He said, stop putting us down. Stop putting me down with your victim card. The problem, it's not us, not me. The problem is you.
Facts.
You're the one who couldn't keep it in your pants. You're the one who couldn't keep it in your pants. You have been loved, quote unquote, a few times. You've been married 4 times, and I've had countless relationships in between. You have had good relationships.
Literally countless, yeah.
Me, for example, I was in love with you. I even moved out of state, leaving my job, my family, and friends behind to support you, to love you, to protect you, and care for you. I'm an amazing, loving person, great human being, honest, faithful to you, never lied, never misbehaved, never cheated on you. I was too good for you. I'm too good of a man for you. But you chose fame and fortune, moving apart of from our relationship. You decided to lie, to cheat on me. And even though I stayed, I even tried to keep the marriage going and alive.
Wow.
You even begged me to stay because at the time you didn't want bad press caring more about you.
Wow.
About your career. Instead of saving the marriage, and I stayed. But you went for the fast lane of your career and stardom, not caring about me. You wanted to continue on cheating and lying.
Damn.
I couldn't stay anymore and deal with the constant lying. That's why I left you. That's why I divorced you. Yikes.
Damn.
Tell the truth for once.
That boy, woo.
Let people know that you were the problem. You should be embarrassed. ashamed of yourself. To quote Will Smith in that movie did about that brain doctor, tell the truth. You tell the truth.
With the bad accent, yeah.
But it applies here. J-Lo, Leslie, Sharon, and all you other ones. Tell the truth.
Facts. That's some real shit, though.
African finger.
Because you come off as a 60-year-old bird. I mean, all of them. Like, what are you talking about? Like, dude, we see you. You know, we have access to the internet machine. Like, we can read about your goofy ass. We know all the shit. We don't know you in depth, but we know enough to know the problem with your monkey ass.
We know too much. That's probably the bigger problem there.
Facts.
Be dysfunctional. I shouldn't know this much about you.
Oh,
I'm
my
pissed.
God.
I'm pissed.
All facts. And, you know, that those type of women, you know, like you just said, when you know that much about someone, that in and of itself says everything that you need to know. This girl that I watch, Chantel Simone, the girl that the Jamaican girl that I was talking about last week, she always makes a point of that, you know, to talk about how it's not feminine, it's not ladylike to have all your business out there. Just that in and of itself is not ladylike. And men, we need to start drawing a line in the sand against women who behave like that. You put the least little thing happens, you want to run to TikTok. The least little thing happens, you want to run to Instagram. And then you wonder why nobody don't want your stupid ass. Because you're showing the maturity of a child. You know, these women.
Ironically enough, want to talk about men not being emotionally mature. Ironically enough, the projection, make it stop.
Half of the shit that we know about these women we should not know. You know, and that right there just goes to show how low quality you are. You know, and you have the nerve, the audacity to sit up here and talk about somebody else ain't up to par. What was the word Sharon Stone used? They're just not on our level. Really? Wow. And not to say that there aren't men out there that aren't, you know, on a quality woman's level or whatever the case may be, but you ain't it. And you're painting with a very broad brush. You're putting all men in this category, you know, and I always push back against anyone who does that. All women are not trash. All men are not trash. Talk to who you're talking to and leave the rest of us out of it. Correct. That's how I stay on it. You know what I'm saying? So
because the funny thing is there are people that for all the complaining they're doing, there are women who genuinely can't relate.
Yeah,
they don't know anything about this. Like that's terrible for you. What do you mean for me? Well, all the men I know are wonderful. They're gentlemen. They're considerate. They're thoughtful. Everything else.
Yes.
So at some point, the question has to be: how are there women out here in the world that aren't having these struggles?
Correct.
And yet I can't seem to stop slamming my face into the wall.
And
methodology, maybe.
Like I tried to say to a certain person that we know, try to get it through her noggin. It's the behavior. When the behavior changes, so will everything else, and not before. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get queen treatment while you're out here acting like a fucking peasant. It don't work like that. But yeah. Anyway, let me move on. I gotta talk about this right here because this one right here, this will set me off. Let me tell you something. People gotta be careful out here, man, because you just never know who's listening, and you just don't know. So check this out, man. You gotta check this out. This is crazy.
My back.
Yeah, she got some cool records though.
She did me dirty one. She did us all dirty one time. Like how the the girls my neck, my back. We hanging out in the hotel and she called the cops on us. Like, yo, them making too much noise. They like, yo, the girl there.
My neck and my back.
My neck and my back, nigga. Like how the my neck and my back.
You know she coming at you.
Supposed to call the cops. She called the cops on us, bro. We was in Phoenix, Arizona. B-Fab, all of us talking in the hallway, and they was like, yo, the girl right there. She called the cops. Said, my neck, my back? She called cops on us?
I ain't gonna say that because that roasting. She could roast. Not that could roast. So I know you love her because she could roast.
I love you, Kaya. I don't want no smoke.
Fat Joe, bitch. Your fat ass, no. You finna get roasted this morning, Gag Order. Fat Joey bag of donuts, you mildew smelling motherfucker. You. And here come your fat, funky, stankin', okay, spore pig looking motherfucking ass along with the rest of your crew being demonic freaks per usual. Gag Order, Diddy ain't the first and won't be the last freakazoid, bitch. It started with you. Okay, being demonic freaks and mutants. You know, got a hall full of hoes and underage sluts ready to fuck. Oh, you a sex demon. You was fucking them, drugging and fucking them little young hoes. And I put the popos on your bitch ass. Okay, go to you and all them niggas that was there with you. Wasn't by shit. I was out of order and them young girls was in danger. I seen crimes being committed and I called the law. Okay.
Shout out to Kaya for that. Cause nigga, yo. And the whole roast, I'm gonna put the whole roast in the comments on this video. I have my differences with Kaya because, you know, some of the content in her music or whatever the case may be. But boy, when she started roasting some of these whole ass niggas in the industry, it's bliss. It's blissful. It's about 7 minutes and change full of bliss. She ripped the bark off Fat Joe's fat ass. You dig? And it needed to be said because Fat Joe got a pending case right now. Somebody's suing him for fucking underage girls. Fat Joe on one of his songs is on our page. He's rapping about fucking an underage girl. He says it in the song. And now he's so-called himself calling Kaya out for calling the police on him. Turns out she called the cops because you and your entourage was with a goddamn gang of underage girls. Fat hoe. Talk to me, man. What is this? I mean, when are we going to see the Fat Joe Rico? Because I smell it. I smell it. Everybody ain't lying. You understand? Go ahead, go ahead. But boy, that one threw. That one blew. Go ahead.
You're not gonna see the Fat Joe Rico for right now until they break their tools. But right now they're using him because remember he was also put out there to host the BET Awards, and he's really that Latino that they need to crowbar and break up the FBA structure or try to break up the FBA structure. He reminds me of Bernie Sanders, the nigga who just hang around black folks back in the day. And then now the black folks that he hung around died. Now he's like the old nigga who grandfathered in with legacy. When he was coming up, nobody really paid attention to Fat Joe. He was just a Spanish rapper that a lot of people gave credibility to really ride the coattails on. And he was gracious enough to get the coattails ride on for a while. And I remember during that ride, that's when Big Pun came in. And once Big Pun came in, nobody even fucking wanted to even listen to Fat Joe. And Big Pun had to take him under the wing and try to show him how to write real lyrics. Because if you go back to his old shit, all he was just rhyming about, he was just really recycling pieces of raps from other dudes who was in the grind and in the underground scene, spitting their lyrics. But it's kind of like white people dancing to black music. You know, black people that could dance better than that white person, but the fact that you have this white person attempting to do it, that's why they get a lot more light and shine. That's pretty much Fat Joe's career back in the day. He was a Latino dude, and so he got a lot of sympathy and followers because of that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you go and you see him through the years how he really wasn't relevant, but they used him because he was back in the day. They're using him to crowbar him to try to push these agendas and everything like that. He's also a guy who has money through the people who run the world because he's also a puppet and a plant as well.
Yes, he is.
I will say this. I personally know an incident about Fat Joe. It involved one of my homeboys going to jail about it, but he was released because of it. But this happened here on South Beach. I don't know if you guys remember that incident on South Beach where he had one of his entourage got killed out there. And the thing about it is, from the sources that I know, valid sources, his entourage started this shit, and they end up grabbing the pistol that the entourage pulled out, grabbed it, and end up struggling with it. And the person who pulled it out is the one who got shot with it. So he had this whole narrative that, oh, these black dudes is out here provoking and starting with us. Nah, you was on South Beach thinking you was the shit with your Hispanic, because a lot of Latinos have this Hispanic pride about them, like everybody's a hard ass Latino gang member or drug dealer or with a cartel, and that's far from the fucking truth. You know, sometimes when you act like a bully, you run around that corner and get punched in your mouth. Now you turn into a pussy, a victim. You know what I'm saying? Where was that hardcore villain shit you was talking? You know what I'm saying? That shit plays good on people that you can villainize like that. But when a bully run into a bully, it's a whole different story. So he puts his entourage in some fucked up situations. He's not that guy who puts them in the best situation.
Agreed.
And for her to sit there and say that, I stand by Kaya with that, because I know situations where that he has low energy. He has a history of being low energy, and that type of thing I'm not surprised about. So yeah, shout out to Kaya for doing that. She probably ended up saving some women that night. You know what I'm saying?
Probably did.
So, yeah. So if you know, we even though we, like you say, Major, we might have some issues about some things that she said, you still got to give that sister credit for what she did. Two things could be true. You know what I'm saying? And so he's trying to make it seem like she was a bad person for doing it, but you not telling the whole truth. And I'm glad she went on her show and told the truth, because you made it seem like she was just a problematic black woman, and you thought that because her image looks and is problematic on records, that's why she was doing it. And you trying to call out on the hypocrisy tip, and she turned around and gave you some facts that made you look like shit, because now you got allegations that back up what she talked about.
Yeah.
And I land my plane on that.
Facts. And not just that, before Bobby go, real quick, man, you got Fat Joe here trying to call somebody out for snitching again when this nigga is signed to Rock Nation. Nigga, you signed to Desiree Perez, a federal informant, and you trying to call somebody out for snitching? Shut your fat ass up, bro. What is this guy's aim? Like, what? We have the internet machine, nigga. We know, we see you. My God, not to mention, you know, Fat Joe trying to front like he got all this money and all that shit. You remember some time ago when all them rappers was like, hey, man, if y'all serious, man, and y'all really want to work, just inbox me, man, and you know we gonna work, you know, we gonna, made it seem like they wanted to work with new producers and shit. I was producing at the time. I hit him up. Okay, what's up? You know what I'm saying? What's up? You need tracks? Here's some tracks. Check this out. Da 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 da. Fat Joe hit me back with the, okay, well, man, we could do something, man, but it's just, you know, what's your budget looking like? You know, motherfucker, I'm not gonna pay you to produce for you. And you supposedly this done. They got all this money and got all this, you popping like that out here, right? Bitch ass nigga try to extort me for some bread. Like, what? Don't get me started on this, fat boy. And he's the only one, by the way. He's not the only one. All of them who did that shit, they basically did that. Hip hop people are some of the fakest people in the world. Go ahead.
Hey, I will say this before I let Bobby cook.
Yeah.
Remember that Snoop Dogg. Remember he talked about Nas. Remember how he talked about Nas? He was like, "Yo, Pac didn't want it with Nas, man. Nas is a nigga who is really like that."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, Nas really. He didn't punk Nas. Nas just played the bigger role and just kept telling them, I respect you, I love you, Pop," because he could take it to that level. And remember, I told you that Snoop Dogg was that agent, right? The tool. Guess who else? Guess who else did that? Who's doing the same shit too? Fat Joe. Because remember when when Jadakiss, remember the stories, and he was part of the ones that told about that story too.
Yeah.
Remember when Jadakiss got into it, the Locks and Jay-Z them was beefing.
Mhm.
Remember him and Beans got into it.
Yeah.
And remember they were saying that Jada is that nigga, dog. Like
sure.
he
I believe
ain't that nigga to fuck with. He got niggas like that. He's that nigga. But he don't remember when you look at Nas and you look at Jada, they don't go out there and act like these tough motherfuckers, but their street cred, motherfuckers that
A1.
know will tell you, dog.
Platinum plated.
That's how
A1.
you know niggas is gangster when other niggas could tell you,
Mm-hmm.
no, that motherfucker is like that. They're not
Yeah.
telling you that they're like that, like all these other fake niggas. The streets telling you, like, no, that nigga ain't nothing to play with. Don't let that nice guy fool you.
Mhm.
That's him. He's him. Go ahead, Drake.
Yeah.
Right. And even the places they can go to and everything, they cool. They don't get touched. They get respect. They get love.
Yeah.
And no one trying to push upon them.
Mhm.
It's their credibility, their bona fides is established. You ain't never heard, and because the funny thing is, and even before social media, streets have always taught. They may never snitch like that, but they've always taught. So the same way how, like right now, the whole thing about Fat Joe and them girls coming out, Kaya bringing this up or expounding on it since he want to try and play games and be stupid about it.
Yeah.
For those who really, really, really in hip hop, who've been listening to all the talk, the heads, the stories, and everything, you've heard Trickland's rumors about Fat Joe for the longest time. I've heard now in the last year or so that talk has picked up.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember hearing several years ago, probably even before then, about Joe and little girls and everything of that nature. I didn't know about the song where he claimed that. I'm about to look that up. But
it's on our page.
I've heard them rumors and everything.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain people that you don't hear nothing about, and it's not because they paying people off. You ain't got money for that. It's because ain't nothing to say. They're legitimate. They are who they are, or at the bare minimum, if they do in dirt, they're very discreet about it. They move low key. They're not out here being flashy and making moves. They're not out here in the hotel lobby loud as hell with children that they traffic. But man, the Tether Latino is at it again, boy.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised to hear that. I'm not surprised that he moves that way. And I've said before, Joe has for the longest time not had a solid reputation. And we're talking about among the people who know him. The people close to him, who he came up with, who he got bred with. They themselves have had issue with him. And I find it interesting that the people who have stayed close to him over the years themselves have come out to be compromised. Hi, Reminisce Martin. What's up? It's tough to be in those circles if that's not who you are. Because like you said, oil and water don't mix. If you a snake, it's not too many folks who ain't snake handlers that's going to be around you. The snake got to be over here. The mongoose got to be over there. They're not going to be playing poker at night. They're not going to be, buddy like that. It's not going to work. You here, I'm there, and that's just what it is, whether it's beef or no beef. But, it's still at the same time ridiculous for him to carry on and conduct himself that way, but they're coming for him. And I'm with you, because right now they're still trying to use him as a crowbar for leverage purposes to try and, push back against the FBA stand that's being made, especially where hip hop is concerned.
Yeah.
They're really trying to use him and get him into these nooks and crevices to kind of be that bulwark for them.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that he's moving, it's funny. He should be moving the way Snoop is moving. That's the way he's supposed to be moving. But for him to be that cocky and arrogant, he's out here like that. He's taking shots at people. For him to remember that story, which is crazy because he knows she was there. He's bringing him the story. He knows what he was doing.
Yeah.
The idea that you go ahead and talk nonsense like you think she's forgot or she's not going to say anything, where she has a reputation for airing people out.
Mm-hmm.
That speaks to the ego and the level of arrogance and hubris you have where you think that you can't be touched.
Right.
And especially at a time where you see people who previously would have considered untouchable. You see your Diddy's, you see your Harvey Weinsteins and the like getting taken down off the Me Too and everything else, with all these charges being brought up, some being opened up where people can go back and dig old stuff up. Now, it's never been done before. Now, you see what the climate is. You don't get all chatty patty out the mouth like that unless you're convinced that you got this A1 deal in your back pocket, but you can't be moved on. You don't move like that unless you feel like, hey, I really can't be touched because I'm riding with them people. If you knew about it, you okay. But again, Mr. Joe Aino Blaka, it's coming, my Goya Bean friend.
Yeah.
It's coming, my Guayabana hermano. It's coming. Not today, maybe not tomorrow, but your day is coming. You are going to get cooked like the freshest pan of paella out there with all the adobo that you can handle. It's coming. And when it happens, it's going to be beautiful. Boy, it's going to be beautiful. I'm going to have something nice on ice and everything. Just full Eddie Murphy mode.
I can't wait. Bro. And it's coming sooner than later because we have effectively neutralized Fat Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Like nobody fucking listens to him now. Like he's useless at this point.
That podcast really was his Hail Mary. It never made sense. And if you know hip hop, that never made sense. That pairing, but he had to find some way to graft onto somebody. But it's coming because remember, he's out here. The way these tethers work, these liars, they try to sell themselves as well. I have sway. You know, I'm connected to the streets. I've been around for a minute. You know, I have pull out here. You know, they respect me. They don't listen to me. And these clueless folks that don't know how the streets work, they're gonna go ahead and say, "Well, he has been around. All right, we'll see what you can do."
Yeah,
they're only keeping you around to the extent that you're able to get results. But as soon as they see that you're not getting results, you're not making hay, that there's no actual return on this investment, they pulling the rug out from under you.
It's a wrap. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Because
remember, real quick. Remember, it's strategic for him to have Jada because of his real credibility.
Yes.
Remember, on Versus, he has one of the most legendary verses out there. These guys are the king of New York. When you talk about the Locks, it's no harder group out there than the Locks. You feel me? So they have a solidified foundation, and he's trying to stick to that wall with them by joining on the podcast. To me, Jada, Locks, if y'all out there, remove yourself from this dude because the plane is coming down burning. Facts. Remove yourself from this dude. And I think, to me, I don't know if you guys seen it, but I think that the Locks reviewing songs together would be a dope ass podcast.
That would be dope.
Visual podcast, because they did it recently when they were doing the commentary on Wu-Tang, and I thought that was a dope ass breakdown and commentary. I think they have a great thing if all three of them would analyze rap and do it like that. That in itself, a live stream podcast like that, reviewing,
especially with the stories.
That's a lane.
They're great storytellers. If you've never caught any of their interviews on Drink Champs or any other place, when you have even just one of them, Sheik is a great story. Sheik is actually probably the better storyteller out of all three of them. He's funny as hell, but he's not really big in the limelight like that. But Styles, Jada, Sheik reviewing the music, going back over not just the music, but the stories behind the music, the climate, the atmosphere. Those guys are really proper historians out there, man. Okay. That would be an amazing series right there.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy. I really have a great deal of respect for those guys. One thing happened that kind of left a little smudge, but I'm not going to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, 90%, those guys are ultra thorough. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see why they would entertain the likes of a fat hoe. I mean, I guess they must be paying him real good. That's the only thing I can come up with.
Yeah.
You know, because why would you want to hang around this guy? And everything he says is a fucking lie. They call him Cap Joe. You know what I'm saying? Like some people call him Cap Joe because he's always lying. How many times he came out, Bone Thugs and Harmony told checked him for one of his lies. Some other folks checked him for other lies. It's like Big Pun's family, they just obliterate him every chance they get. They hate his guts.
They despise him, and for good reason too.
How he robbed them, you dig?
Them, Cuban Link, all them dudes,
all his peers. The only people that I know that's still cool with him are Cool and Dre. You know what I'm saying? And I suspect that that's because he still needs them for tracks. You understand what I'm saying? Yep. So he ain't fucked them over or whatever the case may be, but he still needs them for tracks. And you got to just understand the game. Like, if you really pay attention to Fat Joe, name one Fat Joe hit without an FBA on it.
Doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Does not
exist.
Hit.
And Jada. Did Jada? No, I don't think that was Jada's. I mean, I don't think that was Fat Joe's song. Was that? No, that was Ja Rule's song. Okay.
Yeah, all his biggest hits have another artist on them.
Yeah.
And it's usually 95% of the time it's somebody that's FBA. But he want to talk shit about FBAs. Fuck Fat Joe.
And for most, and for, if not, I don't know about most, but for at least half of them, he owes that all to DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
DJ Khaled single-handedly kept him relevant in the 2010s. No one cared or knew about him. And in fact, his verses have been the least memorable out of all of them. It's literally just, hey, we got like we got 30 seconds you need to kill on this track right here. What do we do? Oh, get Fat Ho.
There you go.
Fat Joe. Get him.
There you go. And let's not forget, DJ Khaled is a culture vulture himself because he kept Fat Joe relevant, but all the niggas around DJ Khaled kept DJ Khaled fat ass relevant.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Khaled has no verifiable talent. Well, he can DJ a little bit, but other than that, I mean,
he's loud.
What are we doing?
That's his talent. He's loud.
Don't have no fucking talent. You know what I'm saying?
He's a loud, porky dude, and he has some level of charisma. That's all. We the best. Ooh, me, I'm vocal. I don't have no filter.
No
I'm
talent
a speaker
whatsoever.
box. Meat meal bit off of me. That's all he got. Loud.
No talent whatsoever. He's like Sweetie with bigger titties. That I'm just saying, like you know what I'm saying, like this nigga. I'm just saying, bro. So okay, we're gonna move on. I mean, I could go on all day on these fucking clowns, but like, yo, at some point you gotta let them breathe. You gotta take your foot off their neck because you got shit to go do. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. But I want to talk about this real quick.
It should be a priority and a goal for all of us to keep ourselves at king status, like the brother we are about to discuss.
Yes, I had to talk about this today, man. It's going to be real quick, but it was necessary. I got to talk about this guy because he's so necessary to the culture and such a big cultural icon. RIP to our good brother, Michael Eugene Carter, a.k.a. D'Angelo. He transitioned this week, and what a huge loss. What a great musician, an artist, a writer, a producer, a composer, and just an all-around down-ass brother. D'Angelo was powerful out here in these streets, man. You know what I'm saying? And people really don't realize the cultural impact of some of our greats until they're gone. And I really want to just take a moment out and acknowledge this brother, acknowledge the uniqueness of what he brought to the industry. You know, when D'Angelo first came out, I mean, it's like the game just stopped for a minute. When Brown Sugar came out, like, yo, what the hell is this? Like, I never heard nothing like that. Because, like, my grandmother, she used to love jazz, and I thought jazz was all right. But I'm a hip-hop guy. You know what I'm saying? And before him, only Gang Starr and Guru had fused, like, hip-hop and jazz together and made it sound dope. And then D'Angelo came in and he just took it to the next level. He added that soul singing to it. You know what I'm saying? And like this brother, he was just so dope and so powerful. And, you know, he carried himself well. He had some issues with, you know, substances at one time in his life, but he got clean. You know, he cleaned himself up. He carried himself well. You know, I didn't even know he was sick. You know what I mean? And, you know, unfortunately, he transitioned. I just wanted to give this brother a shout out because of his contributions to the industry and to the community. RIP to our good brother D'Angelo. Any quick thoughts on that before I move on?
Yeah, shout out to D'Angelo. And let's not forget who his child's mother is. And he's a great father. Do want to implement that. A phenomenal father. But let's not forget who his child's mother is, right? So when you look at Angie Stone, that woman there they don't talk about her impeccable work in the music realm. So you imagine like you have two phenomenal writers, creators. That's why they were on a great run during that era. She was doing her thing, he was doing his thing. And they were like both a phenom at what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to his legacy, man. He really paved the game for a lot of people out here, including Bilal. You know, when you listen to Bilal, you can sense the D'Angelo in Bilal. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to D'Angelo for that, man. Now, one thing that I did want to say before I land my plane is that before he even transitioned, I was thinking about having like, you know, my whole dream is for us to go on tour to different cities and chop it up with the fam. But I also wanted that while we're in these different cities at our events, that we could hook up with some medical doctors in these events and just have like free blood pressure and just a little free checkup. Nothing major, but just something free. And then you could get the information and get the rest of your checkup or sign up with a physician so you have a physician. Because I think a lot of Black men, you know, they know that they have to go out there and work. And it's a little gray area with that because we know that as much as we want to go and get checked up, we kind of feel like if something is wrong, because we are the household financial staple, that if something is wrong and we have to go down for a couple of days, then everything falls apart. So even when through our sickness, we still have to, you know, find a way to keep going. We really can't rest like that. I think that's part of the mental health issue that a lot of Black men suffer from. We do want to take care of our health, but we understand that being the pillar and the financial structure of our household, we can't take no days off. And then the businesses that we work for, they're not giving us no days off because they give us longer hours, less pay. So you really have to put in time when you come home for your family and things like that. But I definitely want to do something like that for the people. Do that. So I'll let
right. Bet. Bobby Drake.
Oh man, that death really I was a punch in the gut for me. It was really,
that's a hard one.
And it was hurtful because D'Angelo, I always had him on my hit list of artists that I wanted to catch live. And it sucks that he passed away before I could actually get to appreciate him live in person, just kind of, you know, be there with his music. D'Angelo was one of those rare artists that was a real true artist. Like, it wasn't just, you know, get in a booth and record some songs. He's a guy who could sing, you know, he has fun singing and making music and puts it out like that, whatever. Those are great. He was probably one of the last real, and I tease and joke about it, but the real artsy fartsy bohemian guys, like the people who were the muses that really embody music and art as a whole. Because when you listen to him sing, his style wasn't just unique because of the way he sang his songs, but he really was artistry. When you listen to him, it wasn't just lyrics, it wasn't just songs or music or moods. He really captured moments.
He did.
He was very good at it. When you listen to him, it was like listening to soundscapes. Like, you listen to him and your music, it takes you someplace. It's a memory that triggers inside of you. You remember something. It's a smell. It's a taste. Maybe it's an event, a dinner, a graduation or something. Or even if nothing of that triggers, it's like a nostalgia, like a memory that you forgot. Or a place that you wanted to be. he transported people to different times, places, and spaces and feelings with his music.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to understand, there was never an actual official group, but his generation of singers, they labeled them the Soulquarians, right? But really, D'Angelo was the father. There were some others that came out around the same time, but he was the first really to be the father or the godfather of the neo-soul era.
Yeah, he was.
His sound was so revolutionary, so unlike anything that had come before, which is amazing if you really know music. If you think about jazz, funk, bebop, all the different variations of soul and rock and roll and rockabilly and everything. If you think about music as we knew it back then, to say that you have something that no one's heard before, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Because our music was already diverse as hell up to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But his style of singing and artistry was so unique. They literally had to come up with a new name for the genre because, like, we can't just call this R&B. That's disrespectful.
Yeah,
we can't call it soul because when you compare it to other soul acts, it doesn't sound like that. It's unique. We're going to call it neo soul.
Yeah.
And then you had other artists that came in right alongside him that were also part of that and changed the way we listen to music forever.
Yeah. Powerful.
And they really bridged the gap between a lot of artists because you had a little bit of, not a huge one, but a bit of a schism between people who were separated as far as the newer R&B sounds from the older ones. There was a lot of criticism about it being too poppy, not soulful enough, too mainstream or whatever. D'Angelo was the guy who took these artists who, if we're honest, these guys, if it wasn't for D'Angelo or without someone kicking the door open, they'd have been just relegated to performing in jazz lounges and clubs, performing in churches with their bands and everything. Even the musicians that played that style of music, whatever, they were around, but there was just never any organization or any mobilization for them.
Right.
When D'Angelo came out and all the others that came behind him, that's when all these people paved a path and had a way forward where they could be on the scene, they could be touring with these major artists and making real paper and not just doing side gigs and hustling. Because when I was younger, I played for churches when I was coming up as well too, and I met some real thorough cats that toured with guys like D'Angelo. They toured with Erykah Badu, they toured with Maxwell or whatever. They did these different gigs, and we just catching up. And I'm listening to where they're playing and everything.
Yeah,
and that's when I realized, man, this neo soul thing really paved the way for a lot of people to eat. And I'm hoping at some point a documentary really goes into that, really fleshing that out. But
it'd be great.
Maxwell was that dude. I just want to give an example right quick. We're talking about legendary.
Okay.
His second album. I want you to listen to understand just how heavy D'Angelo was to be such a titan at this time. In the year 2000, I'm going to rattle off some albums with some artists that dropped at that time. In the year 2000, when he put out Voodoo, his second album, you also had Erykah Badu with Mama's Gun. Jill Scott's Who Is Jill Scott? Ghostface put out Supreme Clientele. Outkast had Stankonia. Carl Thomas put out Emotional. Deltron 3030 had an album that came out at that time. I Just Want to Sing from Music Soul Child popped out. Commons like Water for Chocolate. Talib Kweli and High Tech's Eternal Train of Thought. Craig David, Born to Do It. Dead Prez dropped Let's Get Free. Slum Village put out Fantastic Volume 2. You had Beanie Siegel, he put out The Truth. Maya came out with Fear of Flying, her debut joint. Sade put out Lovers Rock. You had Amel LaRue's Infinite Possibilities. Joe, My Name Is Joe. Tony Braxton put out The Heat. Avant came out with My Thoughts. All these heavyweight albums.
Yeah.
And he was not estimated by any means compared to any of them. But, big up to D'Angelo. We're never going to forget you. Your impact was timeless. Until the next one, brother.
Yes. What a time to be alive. The music was amazing. I mean, wow. It really, really was. Shout out to our good brother D'Angelo and R.I.P.
This is the Crown Check segment where we honor our queens. Respect.
For whatever reason, I didn't bring the crown check over. My God, I got everything in but the crown check. I guess I got to read it off my phone. Good Lord. I'm sorry, guys.
I told you we might have jinxed it.
My apologies, man. I got everything in but the freaking crown check. All right. So our crown check for this week is our good sister, Thessalonica Arzu Ambri. And she has a PhD in the 199 IQ teen, graduated high school at 11, earned her bachelor's at 14, MBA by 16. This is not the same young girl that we talked about last week that graduated school early and got all these accolades, or the other one that could do the math problems in like 2 seconds or whatever. This is another young lady. So we got a whole explosion of young women out here who are kicking ass and taking names in academia at young ages, and nobody's paying attention to them. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently it's more important, to get out here and show love to people who are twerking. You know what I'm saying? So I really, really want to go out of my way to try to address these young sisters when I see them, when I hear about them, because nobody talks about these people. This young genius got her MBA at 16, sky high IQ. She's a sky high IQ. She is a licensed pilot also, by the way. So, I mean, when you start looking at the type of things that these young women are accomplishing at such young ages, it is truly remarkable. I really wanted to go out of my way to highlight this young sister, just a little more about her. Born genius, go get her from an early age. She earned a high school diploma at 11. And, by the time she was old enough to qualify for her license, she had already earned her Master of Business MBA from Regent University and found the time to publish multiple books. She started the program in 2014 and was able to complete it just 8 months later. Most of her classmates, of course, they say were twice her age. This is yet another young genius who is making national headlines left and right. And I really wanted to go out of my way to acknowledge this young sister. I'll let y'all go ahead and cook on her while I get her picture up here. This is just phenomenal. I love to continue to see this, and coming from different young women. It's amazing. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, I just want to say that, I ran across 3 young ladies the other day. Well, I want to say like within the last 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And they're 3 girls. I don't know if you guys ever see their videos, but they're like dancers. They're choreography dancers. I think one of them is named Nora. I think they use all 3 of their names in their profile and on their page. I think one of them is named Nora. But I think these 3 girls are from Africa. Okay. But they dance like they do a lot of routines like Aaliyah, Chris Brown, kind of like Stomp the Yard. They kind of give you that feeling. And they do like a lot of hip hop dancing. And I reached out to them to see if we can get an interview with them and their parents. Because I think these girls are young. I think they're they're ages 17 to 19 or something like that. Yes. So I wanted to reach out to I said, hey, if your parents, I don't know who's running this page, but I definitely want to reach out. And the reason why I'm saying that is that you have a lot of these sisters that are doing very positive things, and they're not getting the platform or the rightful attention that they need, because these individuals are inspiration and can inspire a lot of other women to go in the right direction versus the propaganda and the propaganda machine that's pumping all the women to influence them in the wrong direction.
Yes.
So when you see all these women doing this, and this young girl at 16 doing that, you want to give them the platform to show the world, like, hey, when you really look at it, and I'm not taking anything away from these young women, but I've always told people, because I've done it with my stepchildren, But these individuals, it's really not hard to do what they do as far as a parent giving them the platform to excel in that magnitude.
Mhm.
And all it is taking the time and energy. Because when I was with my stepchildren, I was getting them to take high school credits in middle school. They were taking they was in middle school taking high school credits, got to high school to college credits. A lot of these people that you see graduating at 16 and all that, that's what they've been doing, but they do it probably from middle school, elementary school all the way up. You know,
Yeah.
it's just the time that you invest in these individuals, children, that can get them to the level of success that you see there. And I used to hear every time I used to post this up like 10, 20 years ago on Facebook, I would always see people be like, oh, well, you know, my child isn't that gifted. These people are gifted, like their parents are gifted and they're gifted. And I said, no, the only difference between you and their parents is the energy and the resources you put in your child. That's the only thing that separates you. And I remember I had posted about the I forgot the name of that family from Florida. It was 8 of them, and all 8 of their children were successful and they made the news. And, and I was like, you can do this. Y'all can do this, because their parents wasn't nobody making 7 figures or 6 figures. Like, these were regular teachers, and I forgot what the gentleman did, but that's what they were. They just poured into their children, and all their children graduated at 16 or younger. You know what I'm saying? And it was so super dope. But I just wanted to let people know and try to get the platform, because I want these people to excel and be projected into the way where we can promote and get more children in this direction than, like you say, Major, jumping on platforms and twerking and getting notoriety like that. Because at the end of the day, this path right here solidifies more legacy than you twerking. Twerking will be gone the next day. Nobody knows about you. And I land my plane on that.
All facts. Bobby Drake, take us on real quick. Talk to us.
No, absolutely. Big, huge congratulations to her. And again, it's important that, like you said, that these sisters are platformed, because again, no one is trying to showcase this. They don't want that out there.
Right.
You know, it's actually interesting. It's funny that there's so much complaint, and I don't think it's unfounded, about the sexualization and objectification of young women. Now there's all this talk and this focus on girls as far as from a sexual aspect, from attractiveness aspect. But like you mentioned, we don't see any platforms being given to showcase these sisters.
None.
Who are demonstrating that they're capable beyond their bodies. They're very attractive. They're lovely ladies. But they're not. It's not their chests or their backsides or even their face that are taking center stage. It's literally their brains.
Right.
They're achieving at a high level. They're trailblazing. We love all these first things, the first such and such, the first this and that. But no one is showcasing these women. And what you're doing is you're sending the message that in order for me to get attention, in order for me to get a buzz, I'm not going to do it, unfortunately, by getting my MBA at 16. I'm not going to do it by being able to solve math problems and science problems in seconds. I can only get out there. I can only become known by throwing my ass in a circle, by wearing the skimpiest outfits, by clapping my cheeks on YouTube and all these different places. If I'm not using sex, then I cannot get ahead.
Yep. There you go. There you go.
And so at that point, you become complicit in the very thing that you're complaining about. Because I also don't see the women, and this isn't to point fingers at anybody, this is everyone's problem. But it's also important to note that some of the same women who are complaining about how women are only being showcased in this light, they're not, on the other hand, showcasing the sisters like this who are. I should be seeing posts about her in other places. It shouldn't have to come down to the fellas on Manifestations to do this.
The men.
However, we understand that there's a great deal of work that needs to be done in relatively few hands. So I'm very happy and I'm very proud that we take it upon ourselves to consistently roll up our sleeves. And even if it isn't much, doing something to put our hands in the dirt and help this beauty, help this baby sprout and be seen on a larger scale. So, Thessalonica, got to salute you. Congratulations, Mama. Keep it up. Hopefully, this is the first of many more achievements. I hope that your accolades, when all said and done, look stellar, superb. Want to thank you all for kicking it with us this week for another episode. It's a short one. We decided to break it up a little bit. Just chop over what's been out in the news cycle. Very quickly, I definitely want to go ahead and not for his sake, but I wanted to touch again briefly on D'Angelo's situation. Brother passed away. He was privately battling pancreatic cancer. Nasty evil demon. It's a horrible one to take on. Brothers, it was said earlier, but I don't think this is a topic that can be understated now. We've had several brothers of note who have passed away this year due to health issues, largely ones that stem or at least have a huge contribution to them that come from lifestyles, sedentary, just being immobile.
I think you're freezing, Bobby. I think it froze. I think you're frozen. Let me go ahead.
Okay, there you go. Good? We good?
Yeah, you good.
Go ahead, Bobby, real quick.
Really need, this is a gut check. I really need all y'all to take it upon yourselves and really rededicate yourselves. If you haven't, then do it for the first time. If you already have, do it again. Rededicate yourselves to making sure you're healthy. Brother Jason Black talked about it when our brother Black Voltron Reloaded passed away. But we need to get to a point not where we think that we're healthy. Well, I feel healthy. I look healthy. I'm pretty sure I'm healthy. We need to get past thinking, believing, hoping, and praying we're healthy. And we need to get to the point where we actually know that we're healthy. We can look at our mind charts. We can look at our records. We can look at our blood work, our paperwork, and say for a fact, based on this, I am healthy. We need to be getting our screenings. Brothers, I know it's not comfortable. I know we don't like the idea of it, but once you cross that threshold of 35, and if you have a history of cancer in your family, you're going to need to start. Hey, Ant, your little noise back there, my brother.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, my bad.
Some feedback.
Start getting those cancer screenings, them colonoscopies. They have some other non-invasive treatments, but the best one still is the old-fashioned way. Go out there, get your colonoscopies. Get an MRI. They're pricey, but save some paper. You know, y'all going on trips, you buying bottles, you making it rain in the club or wherever you at. Look after yourself first and foremost. Save some paper. Go get some screenings. There's some things that even with regular blood work and everything else, they cannot detect. But if you get a good MRI, that's going to cause a lot of other things to pop up. Go ahead, get yourself screened. Again, the idea that, well, if we get sick or if we find out we're sick, it's going to cause everything to break down. It's not true. What's going to cause everything to break down is your family stressed out because they're getting blindsided by your illness. And now everyone's scampering around trying to figure out what's wrong with dad, what's wrong with uncle, what's wrong with grandpa, and then trying to go ahead and piece things together. You catch a lot of these things early. They're manageable. You can survive them. You can even beat them outright. I need us to really take this seriously. It's more than just going to the gym and lifting weights and, you know, doing all this stuff. If you're doing that, that's great. It's more than just switching up your diet or going vegan or vegetarian, but make it a point to go to the doctor, be on a first name basis with your doctor, with your physician, come up with plans to make sure that you are not just healthy in your mind, but you're healthy overall. Take care of yourself, brothers. There's only one you. Make sure that you have already subscribed to us if you haven't already. That's another way you stay healthy because we're going to be on your neck about these kind of things. And it's also a reminder for the ladies that listen to us as well, too. Get on the necks of the men in your life as well, too. Make sure you're putting out these messages for our overall wellness. Click the bell icon to subscribe to our notifications. We're not going to go crazy in your timeline, but when we go live for our family chats, you will know to go ahead and join us front and center. Make sure you share this with all your friends, all your contacts. Our YouTube crew, big salute to you. Facebook fam, what's happening? IG Mafia, we appreciate you. Much respect. We'll catch y'all next week, same time, same place. We over here with Major Gage. This man's muted, but he's always in surround sound. Anthony Malcolm, and I am Bobby Drake. We are Manversations 2020.
All right.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and
Man up.
inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and
Man up.
inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there, you gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and
Man up.
inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and
Man up.
inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and
Man up.
inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best
A
interest.
place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and
Man up.
inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we
Man
must
up.
stand together and be counted because people look to us for guidance, leadership,
Man
and
up.
protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job.
Man up.
Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose.
Man up.
Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage.
Man up.
We are. This is Manversations 2020.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and
Man up.
inspire.